So we are in Manteo, North Carolina. It's a cute small town on Roanoke Island in North Carolina. We did not make it to Ocracoke on the Outer Banks because we had some kind of nasty weather that beat us up real bad as we were trying to get out there. So we aborted that attempt after some broken plates and starting to and things falling off. So we are now in Manteo, and this is where the Lost Colony was. We're gonna look more into that as we walk around the town. For those of you who are new here, we are a couple with a baby and a dog. We live on a sailing catamaran, and we decided to take a 4-cabin, 4-head charter version and convert it into an owner's version, which is an ongoing project, and it's a big project. And we kind of sail around and see things. Today we are going to go explore Manteo and see what's up here.
Still remember, cannot forget the flower in your hair. Looking forward, listen to my heart.
So on the way here, we actually had a bit of a interesting situation. We were outside sailing. It was about a 10-hour sail from Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina to Beaufort Inlet, North Carolina. And there was pretty strong winds behind us. We had about 20 to 23 knots behind us, and it was 4 to 6 foot swell, but it was almost dead astern, so we were going fast. We were averaging like 7.5 to 8 knots of speed. But we ended up, the way things got timed out, we had to come into the inlet at night. We've come into inlets at night before. It's always a bit tricky and somewhat dangerous, but you just have to be on alert. So as we came to the channel, it was like 10 o'clock at night, and the wind was still up. So we were going about 8 knots, and I started to put the sails up. Figured that if I got the jib up, we'd slow down by at least 2 or 3 knots. But I got the jib down, we're still going 7. I just didn't have enough time. Jessica was at the helm, and I think it was partially hidden by a sail, but we came half a hair from hitting this giant buoy.
Yeah, we were both shaking afterward.
It just appeared.
And the wind howling in our ears.
It was one of the slower flashing buoys. It was very, very big, and there may have been a current involved too, but I was cranking on the stern winch and look up, and there's just this big buoy leaning over the boat, and I thought for sure we were gonna hit. Definitely gave me an adrenaline rush, but from there we were there. We knew we were in the channel, so we turned hard and went down it and got in. And that was a weird channel too. It had 2 sets of channel markers, and one just kept getting shallower and shallower, and the other one, which looked like temporary markers maybe for a new temporary channel, turned out to be the right one. But when you're coming into an inlet and there's too many lights, and some of the lights are taking you the wrong direction, and there's 18 plus knots of wind and waves and stuff, it's a tricky situation. I don't know that I'd advise anybody else going in there unless they knew it, but it worked. I mean, yeah, that's the story. So always something interesting. At least we didn't hit it. That would have been really bad. All right, let's go play on the playground. That's playground right there, and that's Honu right there. Very conveniently located.
Kira, what do you think of the grass?
It's fun to put your fingers in.
You want to eat it?
And from the park, we look right over here, have a view of the water. Very small place, but everything's convenient.
And a free dock.
Yeah, 24-hour free dock right there. No power, no water.
Waiting for you long time, baby, was so hard for me to do. You said me and you forever will be one, but now you're gone, and I still remember, cannot forget the brightness of your smile, soft embraces.
So one of the cool things about Manteo, which is this town and this island, Roanoke Island, was that there was the so-called lost colony that happened here. And the lost colony was a early, I think, English colony that was settled here. And one of these boats was left, the supply ship left to go to England, expecting to be back 3 months from then with supplies for the colony. And there was a war on at the time, and that war basically commandeered all the ships. So instead of being able to get back within 3 months, it ended up being 3 years. They did tell the colonists that if you have to leave for some reason, leave a note for why you had to leave, where you went, and leave a cross if it was under duress. And when they got back 3 years later, there was only one word carved into a tree, which was Croatoan. At the time, there was a friendly native tribe to the colonists down near Hatteras Island, the Croatoan tribe, but the weather was bad because this area, also known as Graveyard of the Atlantic, has some really rough weather, and they couldn't go check. So they basically had to go back to England, not being able to check where the whole colony went, and because of that, never were able to follow up on this entire colony that just went missing. But so this is the island where the original colony was settled and disappeared from.
Manteo Weather Tower. So they fly different flags for different things. Like for a hurricane, they fly these two flags.
What are they flying now?
They're flying a white flag, meaning fair weather.
Well, that seems to be accurate. I guess here, if wind was out of southeast, that would be bad because lots of fetch. So this is what you'd want to watch out for here.
And I guess they did this. They started this November 10th, 1904.
And there was a hurricane here, Hurricane Irene, and that's the high water mark. So even here, they get hurricanes from time to time. North. So tomorrow we're going to start continuing to head north to go to Virginia and then Maryland. Jessica is going to go with Kira and Arya to stay at my parents' house for a couple weeks, and then I have to go to a business trip in California the next week. So my dad's going to help me deliver the boat up to Maryland, and I think that's it for this video. Manteo is a cute place. Maybe we'll swing back by on the way back south. Who knows? And it was nice to get a little tour of the Outer Banks too. So thanks for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.